Ranger.
Hi-Yo Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
For years, the notorious Logan Gang had been the scourge of the pioneers of the early West. Armed robbery, murder, and arson were some of their crimes. Then gradually their way of living took its toll, and one by one their members were either killed or captured, until only their leader, Jeb Logan, and a trusted lieutenant were left alive. Shrewd, cunning, and daring, Jeb Logan defied the efforts of nearly every law officer in the territory to capture him. Until he was finally hunted down, men knew that the West was still far from being a land of law and order. Then the Lone Ranger and Tonto came upon Jeb Logan's trail. It soon became a test of endurance and wits, with each pair trying to outthink and outmaneuver the other.
Fresh tracks, Kimasabi. We're on the right trail, Tonto. Let's go.
Is that it?
Yeah. Gunfire, Tonto. Maybe from Jeb Logan. Let's go.
Shoot it out. Not me. Don't you recognize the white horse? Let's get to the hideout. Come here.
Me follow Crooks, Kimasabi? Jeb Logan and his pal would like us to try. They'd have a good chance to pick us off before we could see them. We better let them go for now, Tonto, and see if we can help here.
Didn't lose much blood. Need doctor and plenty rest.
There's one question I'd like to ask him. Why did two clever crooks like Jeb Logan and his crony try to stop an empty stagecoach?
Maybe them not know there are no passengers.
They couldn't help but notice it. I went back over their tracks and saw where they hid in the hills above the road. They could easily see inside the stagecoach from there.
There no cargo?
Not a single box or suitcase.
Nothing like Wells Fargo Company to send stage anywhere without payload.
Did you find anything on him?
Only wallet and a few dollars.
And robbing him was probably not the motive. He must have been headed for Red Bank. It's near here.
Me take him to doctor there?
Yes, and then leave the stage at the Wells Fargo office.
Maybe station agent explain trip.
I want to hear what he has to say. Meanwhile, I'll try to pick up Logan's trail. Then I'll camp nearer town and leave a trail for you to follow.
Hey, we got a visitor.
Yeah?
You go by front. I'll go around circling by the back.
Right.
Hello, Gimp. Still careful, aren't you? Haven't changed in 6 years.
What's the play?
I was hungry. You had some grub on the shelf. I helped myself. Any objections?
Plenty.
And make them after you hand over my share of the Wells Fargo robbery in Red Bank 6 years ago.
Swifty. Swifty Selden. I wouldn't have recognized you. Hey, Jeb, it's Swifty Selden.
I heard you got 7 years.
What'd you do, break out, Swifty?
I got a year off for good behavior.
How'd you find this place?
Never been in jail, have you, Jeb?
Not me.
I'll tell you something. In jail, the boys know where you are and what you're doing better than you do.
What do you want, Swifty?
My share of the Wells Fargo job. Exactly $3,000. Not counting interest for 6 years.
What would you do with it?
Find a place for my kid. He was 3 when I was sent up. A couple of years later, my wife died. And he was adopted by Hank Crowell.
Hank Crowell, the Wells Fargo agent?
He's the guy that caught you, isn't he?
Yeah. I don't want my kid calling Crowell his father. Besides, Crowell isn't going to be alive much longer.
Swifty, I got an idea.
Yeah?
I know a way you can get your dough, your kid, and get rid of Crowell all at the same time.
Let's hear it.
Back in Goldville, Gimp bribed a man to find out how Wells Fargo did such a smooth job of shipping bullion back east. We found out that every once in a while...
Stay where you are, mister, and reach. One false move and I'll plug you.
That wooden gun, not fire bullets.
Don't count on that, mister. My dad said it can shoot anything I want it to. I just have to use my imagination.
Ah.
Keep 'em up.
Your father a Wells Fargo agent?
Sure, except when I watch the office for him.
What father's name?
Hank Crowell. My name's Terry. What's yours?
Me glad to know you, Terry. Me call Tonto. Me tired. Me not used to drive stage. Me sit down?
Stay where you are. Here comes Dad now.
Well, Terry, I see you caught another bandit. Well, where's the stage driver?
Talk fast, Tonto.
Him wounded by bandits a few miles from here. Me drive him to town, leave him at doctor's, then bring stage.
Keep 'em up.
Put that 6-shooter away, Terry. Did you see the holdup?
2 masked men chase stagecoach. Friend and me ride close, and crooks see us and ride to Badlands.
Could you identify them?
One of them, Jeb Logan.
Logan? Oh, how do you know if he was masked?
Me know hoof prints of Logan's horse. It's plenty strange crooks stop empty coach.
Logan's smart. He may have heard that
Heard
we
what,
were...
Dad?
Nothing, son. Nothing at all. Look, you run along home and tell your mother I'm closing the office and taking the stage to Deadwood myself this afternoon. I'll be late in getting home.
May I go with you?
I'm sorry, son. I know I promised to take you next time, but to make up for it, you tell your mother I said you could ride the pony this afternoon.
The pony? Gee, thanks, Dad.
All right, now you run along, huh?
Oh, boy, you bet I will. Hi, Tonto.
Goodbye. You in trouble. Me get sheriff?
Thanks, Tonto, but the nearest lawman is 50 miles from here.
Maybe other men can help.
It might be too dangerous.
You think Logan try again?
I don't know.
Ah.
What's the matter, Tonto?
Seat on stagecoach plenty hard, Kimasabi.
What did you learn in town?
Wells Fargo agent named Hank Crowell. Him think Logan knows something about empty stagecoach.
Know what?
Him not want to talk about it. Him seem plenty worried. Him close office for a day and drive stage alone to next town.
I wonder why he doesn't wait for another driver.
Him say his trip too dangerous for others.
2 known and clever outlaws stop an empty stagecoach. Tonto, when you drove off, I noticed the stagecoach seemed to be riding low. Was it hard to drive?
Plenty bumps and jolts.
That model coach is suspended by 2 cables. They act as springs. They usually take out the worst of the bumps.
What that mean?
It may mean that somehow, somewhere, that coach was carrying a cargo heavy enough to weigh it down so that the coach rested on the main frame.
What kind of cargo, Kimasabi?
Well, only pure gold would be small enough to hide in the coach and yet heavy enough to weigh it down.
That's why Jeb Logan stopped stagecoach.
Yes, and that's why Hank Crowell was worried. It would take weeks to find Logan in this country. If that stagecoach is carrying gold, it can be used to trap him in a matter of hours. Let's break camp. We've got things to do.
Best place to jump the stagecoach is over there.
You're right, Gimp. Looks perfect. But we're not going to jump it there.
Why not?
Crowell knows we're after that stagecoach. The masked man Indian help him. They'll try to trap us that way.
Where do you figure on hitting them?
Where they least expect it. Rock Canyon.
Right.
How do you know Crowell's bringing the money on to Deadwood?
His company's orders.
All right. I'll pick up the kid and bring him back here.
Say, Swifty,
Suppose the kid doesn't want to stay with you.
After you two get rid of Hank Crowell, he'll have to stay with me, whether he likes it or not.
Headed toward the Wells Fargo office in the little town of Red Bank, the Lone Ranger and Tonto took a roundabout way to avoid being seen in broad daylight by people who would ask questions about the mask.
Me bring friend.
Friend? Who are you and why the mask?
Don't worry. This mask stands for law and order. We've come to try and help you and to bring Jeb Logan to justice.
Logan and I have met before. About 6 years ago, he and 2 other men held me up.
I'd like to hear about the holdup later. Right now, I'm more interested in the stagecoach that's out in front. The cables are bent, so the coach is touching the frame. Is there a secret cache of gold in it?
I can't say.
Your life may be at stake.
I've heard a lot of good things about a masked man and Indian.
This may help identify me.
A silver bullet. As I recall, a federal marshal told me about 2 men who fit your description perfectly. This bullet completes your identification. You must be the Lone Ranger.
Then you'll trust us?
Over $75,000 worth of bullion is hidden under a false floor of the coach.
Why company not send guards with it?
Many times we do. But often extra guards only advertise a special gold shipment.
Somehow, Jeb Logan knows about this gold. Is there a safe place to keep it here?
I was given advance orders to send the shipment through without delay. And under no circumstances was I to ask for guards.
Then we must move fast. While Tonto was here, I found a trail leading into the hills.
You find Logan hideout?
No, Tonto, I lost the trail on the rocky slopes. But I think Logan's hideout is nearby.
Well, what's your plan, mister?
Logan probably knows that the stagecoach must go on from here.
Logan be plenty hard to capture when him choose time and place to attack again.
He'll have to come down to the road from the hideout first.
What do you mean?
Tonto will go on ahead, pick up the trail I found, and follow Logan to the spot he's chosen for the attack. Meanwhile, I'll hide inside the stagecoach. Then when Tonto sees that Logan is ready to strike, he'll fire a warning shot. That will give us time to locate Logan.
Right. And we'll catch him in a crossfire.
A short time later, Swifty Selden rode directly across the hills toward young Terry Crowell's house. Terry had been pointed out to Swifty before, so when, at a trail some distance from the house, Swifty saw a young boy astride his pony, he had no trouble recognizing him as his own son. He found it hard to keep from telling Terry who he really was. To hide his true feelings from the boy, Swifty made his voice sound hard and gruff.
Hold it, son. You Terry Crowell?
That's right, mister.
Mr. Crowell's been hurt. He's at a shack a couple of miles from here. Want you to come back with me.
Is he hurt bad?
No, but he won't be able to ride back home tonight.
You sure he's all right?
Sure. Sure, son. Come on.
All right.
A short time later, Tonto, following the instructions of the Lone Ranger, had found Jeb Logan's trail and was carefully tracking it through the hills. Meanwhile, Swifty Selden was leading his son toward the hideout.
What's the matter, mister?
Looks like we have company. A redskin.
That's Tonto. I'll call him.
Hold it, son. Do you know him?
Sure. He let the stagecoach into my dad this morning after somebody shot the driver.
I heard about that. And he's the one Mr. Crowell's looking for.
I don't understand.
Well, Mr. Crowell figures the Indian double-crossed him. Said to be sure and bring that redskin in, dead or alive.
Gosh, Tonto seemed real nice and friendly when he was talking to me.
Just goes to show you, son. Never trust anybody.
What are you going to do?
Fix that Indian so he doesn't harm any more stagecoaches.
You got him, mister.
Come on, let's make sure.
He's still breathing, mister. He must be unconscious.
I'll fix him.
Stop! You can't kill a man like that.
No? Who said so?
Mr. Crowell, he said only a coward shoots a man when he's down.
Guess you're right, son.
Let's bring him into Mr. Crowell. Let him decide what to do.
All right. But in case he comes to before then, I'll tie him up.
We're coming into the Badlands now, mister.
Rein in at the first sound of gunfire.
I don't see any horses. Are you sure this is the right place?
Well, sure. Maybe Crowell isn't here yet.
But you said he was here at this shack, and he was hurt.
He was hurt down the road. Some friends of mine are bringing him back here to rest.
Seems a funny place to take a person who's hurt. Way up in these hills.
It's closer than Red Bank. Open the door, will you? This fellow's got to go inside where we can keep an eye on him.
How long will we have to wait?
Not very long, son. You and I are going to have a real man-to-man talk.
What about?
About you, son. You know something? Hank Crowell isn't your real father.
I know that. I just call him Dad because I want to. He used to tell me to call him Mr. Crowell. He said only my real father should be called Dad.
He did? What else did he tell you? About your father, I mean.
Oh, he said my dad was a big, strong man, and my mom was very beautiful. Mr. Crowell said my real dad could shoot and ride better than anybody.
Yeah? What did he say happened to your father?
Well, he was helping Mr. Crowell catch some outlaws who held him up. It happened when I was 3 years old.
Go on.
They had a big fight with the outlaw gang. My real dad was a hero. He really gave it to him. But he jumped in front of Mr. Crowell to save him from a bullet, and he was killed.
Oh? Did Crowell tell you what your real father's name was?
Mm-hmm. Terry. That's why I'm called Terry.
But his last name, what was that?
Mr. Crowell said my name's Crowell now, and it's better not to get mixed up knowing another name. Anyway, he's going to help me grow up like my real dad. What's the matter, mister?
Grow up like your real dad. That's just wonderful.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong? Listen, kid, and get this straight. Your old man was never any hero.
Yes, he was. Mister, you're wrong.
Wrong, am I? Let me tell you something. You want to know who your old man really was? He was nothing but a yellow, crooked outlaw.
That's a lie. You're lying, mister. You take it back. You can't call my dad that. Nobody can ever say that and get away with it. Not as long as I live.
Nothing you can do about it, son. It's the truth.
No, it isn't. I don't know what you're up to, mister, but I'll make you take it back. You're a liar. Take that. You're a liar, mister. Say you're a liar.
It means a lot to you, doesn't it, son?
Mr. Crowell, he said he'd help me grow up to be like my real dad.
He said that?
That's why I worried about it. If anything happened to him or Mrs. Crowell, I'd have nobody to help me grow up right.
No, son. I guess you wouldn't.
Were you lying, mister?
Yes, son. I was lying. I made it all up. I was just sort of testing you out, boy, to see if you had the spunk to stick up for your dad. So, all right. I've got to leave you now, son. After I'm gone, I want you to untie the Indian, and then go on back home and wait for your adopted father. I'll be back with him a little later on.
But I thought he was coming here.
There's no time to explain. I just thought of something I have to do. Something I should have done a long, long time ago. So long, son.
Here it comes. Keep me covered. Down from there and be quick about it.
Take it easy, Logan. I got a bad arm thanks to you.
Stop the talk and get down from there.
You must be the man who killed the stage driver this morning.
Yeah, and you're the next one.
Drop that gun, Logan. Get his gun, Hank. We're saving you for the sheriff. Get some rope, Hank.
Not so fast. It's your turn to drop the gun. Stop him. Get over there. Get out! Huh?
Good work, Gimp. See if the gold's in there, Gimp. I'll handle these two. Start saying your prayers, you two.
You wouldn't shoot us down in cold blood.
Just part of a bargain I made with a friend of yours, Crowell. Swifty Selden. As for you, mess man, I've been waiting a long time to give you yours.
It's here, Jeb. Just like you figured.
Good.
Hey, somebody's coming.
I'll take care of him. Start the gold out of there. I'll give you a hand in a second. Here you go, Crowell.
Jeb! No! Hold it! Hold it! No! Don't shoot him, Jeb!
Don't shoot him, Jeb. I changed my mind.
Too late, Swifty. They saw us with our masks off. They know who we are. Get out of the way.
I can't let you, Jeb. Take my share of the gold. Anything. But don't shoot him. I can't let you, Jeb. I can't.
Tough, Swifty. They gotta die.
No, Jeb, no!
All right, Logan, on your feet. Get over there by your pal.
Easy, Swifty. We'll get you to a doctor.
It's no use. I'm through. It's better this way. I couldn't let you die after I heard you brought up Terry to think I was a hero.
You're a hero now, Swifty. The boy will be hearing the truth from now on.
Thanks, Crowell. He and Tonto are at the hideout above Devil's Pass. Take good care of him.
We'll put him in the coach with these two and take them to the sheriff. All right, you two, pick him up. Now that the last of the Logan gang has been captured, Tonto and I must be on our way.
Will you come back to Red Bank, mister?
Someday, maybe.
Terry will always be glad to see you.
I hope he'll always have a fine opinion of his real dad.
I'll see to that, mister. And thanks.
So long, Terry.
Bye, and thanks for everything.
Come on, Tonto.
I know Tonto, Dad, but I never even found out the masked man's name. Who is he?
Why, son, he's the bravest and best man fighting for law and order in the West. He's the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger? Gee.
Ho, Silver! Ho!